What's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we got a brand new video on Coinbase because of their new little disclosure that came out, which means they can pretty much just take your money if you have it on Coinbase, on any cryptos or anything in there, if they were to go bankrupt. So you're probably not in too much danger. It's a very low chance that Coinbase goes bankrupt, but in the off chance that they do, they have the ability to just take anything that you have with them and use it for their own problems, paying off debtors and all that. So, not the best thing for Coinbase to have happen. And as we all know, the great saying of not your keys, not your coins, basically this goes exactly the same way. If you don't have the private keys to your wallet, they're really not your coins. You have control of them as long as whatever exchange or custodial you have in place lets you use them. But if they don't, there's nothing you can do. So it's very important to have your private keys and make sure that you have access to it, even if someone wants to deny access for some reason or whatever happens. But this is Coinbase's disclosure here. We can see right here, new disclosure today, and this was a couple days ago, but still pretty important to just realize is out there. Coinbase's disclosure, their 10Q. And basically the big thing is in the event of a bankruptcy, customers could be targeted as our general unsecured creditors, which means they can take your money and use it for their own paying off their debtors, and you just don't get a say in it because you have your money on Coinbase. Again, the chances of this happening drastically low. Coinbase isn't more than likely, it's like 99% chance that it doesn't go bankrupt. But if it does, if that 1% chance happens, that black swan event happens, then I mean you could lose everything, and no one wants to do that. So just move your Bitcoin to your own self-custody wallet. This is the clause from here, kind of the big event from it all. Talking moreover, because custodially held crypto assets may be considered to be the property of a bankruptcy estate. In the event of a bankruptcy, the crypto assets we hold in custody on behalf of our customers could be subject to bankruptcy proceedings, and such customers could be treated as our general unsecured creditors. That section right there is the big section everyone's focused on, and everyone should be focused on. Meaning, in the event of a bankruptcy, you don't have any say. Your money gets donated to Coinbase to pay off any of their debtors that they can in whatever order that they're supposed to. So, not a great look for Coinbase to have out there and go see. Although it goes for every exchange. Basically, if you don't have your private keys, then you don't have those coins. If something was to happen to the company, you could lose everything just because that's how it works. If you don't have the private keys and they shut down your ability to get in through their app or whatever, then you can't move your coins. You're screwed. And we had Brian Armstrong kind of put a huge thread out talking about all of this stuff. Really, he didn't said a whole lot of nothing. This is 8 tweets of a whole lot of nothing. It's just talking about, oh, we have to do this. It's SEC compliance, regulation, this and that, and our big guys, our big like custodials that they hold for like companies and people that are wealthy. They wouldn't be subject to this because they'd be able to work their way around it somehow. So they're trying to get to their retail to get it a way for them to be able to be treated like people who have a ton of money with them. So a whole lot of nothing. And he talked about the Coinbase wallet, which apparently you get your own private keys to. If you get your own private keys, great. It's still a hot wallet, but at least you have your private keys to it. So I don't know if that's still linked with Coinbase. If that was to be, if they're to go in bankruptcy, if they have access to that and can get to it, not sure. But if you have your private keys, that's at least better than not having your private keys. And if we look at Bitcoin over the past couple of days and weeks, I mean, we see these massive drop down, a lot of volatility, a lot of scared going on. We know from Luna to the Fed to the economy to interest rates to inflation, everything just going ridiculously and crazy. No one knows what to do. And all of those events combined in Bitcoin to go down to $25,000, which is crazy. That's insanely low. A lot of people didn't think Bitcoin could get there. I didn't think we'd see Bitcoin 25K again, but if you took a chance to buy it, I mean, it's up over 30,000 right now. The volatility seems to be settled down. We have Bitfinex whales on their longs just exploding. So usually those are the guys that are a little bit more in the know, maybe have some inside information of something happening, or at very least, they're people with tons and tons of money, so they can try and move markets. And they have done it in the past, so it wouldn't be surprising to see them do it again. But Bitcoin right now at 30,000, almost 31,000 in its little recovery, 3 days green in a row, heading back to this 32K line, which is good because when we were in free fall, when we fell into this zone here, there is just nothing mapped out underneath where it fell, because obviously you can see where we fell 25K. There is nothing going on here for that I've mapped out. And maybe, I mean, if you look at like 22K here, could have been another range, but we don't want to go down all the way down there. So good to see it over 30. Good to see it getting back up. We're going to have a couple levels here, 32, 33, 35, 36, and obviously moving our way up. Would like to see it move up. Probably going to see it move up. It's been a volatile time. Luna stuff has already passed. Tether didn't collapse. That's very good. If Tether started to, it was like 5% off of $1. It was like 95 cents. But Tether isn't an algo stablecoin like UST. So if you wanted to get $1 for your Tether, you could get $1 for it if you went to Tether's website and redeemed it, and they were still honoring $1. They weren't doing 95 cents. That's just exchanges and arbitrage going on. The only big problematic thing for Bitcoin right now would be that we actually did set a lower low. So you look back here, 28,000 was the low down here. And then you go to here, we got to 25,000. So that's a little bit of a problem, maybe, because obviously setting a lower low, not a great sign. But hopefully we try and get this recovery. If we can set a higher high, so if we can try to get back up to $40,000, which is a lot. That's a big ask. We basically slid all the way down here instantly. So 40K would be another one. If we can get back up to like 32, maybe have a pullback, but don't set another. I mean, it'd be hard to go back to 25, I think, but who knows? Maybe we do, but hopefully just kind of working our way up here and not seeing a big move down. I mean, realistically, Bitcoin on the weekly has had 7 red weeks in a row. So how much lower can it go? How much more short interest can there be? You know, obviously Bitcoin can go lower, but it's been going down and down and down for almost 2 months now. So the short bet, it might be a little bit more risky to take a shorts bet. So maybe that clears up and gets us a little bit more of an advantage to move up in price. And you can see that right here. Bitcoin, the first time ever to be down 7 weeks in a row. Crazy kind of thing to imagine happening, but I mean, it happened. So 6 weeks back in like 2014 was when last time Bitcoin had 6 weeks in a row of red candles, basically going down 6 weeks in a row. Now we have 7 weeks in a row, 2022. So what is that? 8 years later, broken the record for the most consistent downward move of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, anything is possible. And just crazy to think, like all the way back to 2014, you have to go back to see a move like this. And we're seeing it yet again 8 years later. Just crazy. But at the same time, maybe the bottom is in for Bitcoin. So you see volume at these levels have marked the bottom the last 3 times. Are we there yet? So looking back here, you can see spike in volume on this drop. And then you have a drastic spike in volume to another drop. This was the 2020 drop, COVID drop, and then another spike in volume when we dropped the first time to 29,000. And you see it kind of bleeds out, but it stops really moving down. So we see it bleeding, kind of trading sideways, and then you see it really rally up. And then we have this one, another sharp drop to 25,000, but 29 for the second time, dropped under it, and a spike in volume. So does that mean we've bottomed out and maybe we trade sideways? Maybe we go sideways and trade from 29K, 28K to 33, 35K for the next couple of weeks. And then, you know, people continue accumulating, continue dollar cost averaging in, whales continue getting in. And if there's just a little bit of a shift in demand, then the price can rocket up because the supply has already been continually bought throughout the entire time. So wouldn't surprise me to see that. If we look back, usually that's what we see. So the first time we see it kind of consolidate, trade sideways, and then a big move up. Again, this one much more immediate. So a big move up, not a huge move up, but moving up off this, still sideways, big move up. Again, sideways, big move up. And should we see here again, sideways and a big move up? Maybe we set a new all-time high. Maybe we can take the shot at the $100,000 Bitcoin. But Coinbase overall, I wouldn't keep anything there that you aren't trading, I guess, or don't care about, because if the black swan event, the 1% chance happens, then you could lose everything and they could take your money to pay off their own debts. So just make sure if you care about your Bitcoin or crypto, that you have the private keys to it. And if you do, then you're good to go and you can have full control over that wallet and over the crypto. If not, then you don't technically own those coins. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next video.